All right. All right, what's good, chat? Should be live on both Twitch and YouTube right now. Trying out the multi-streaming thing again. So bear with me right here. What's good, chat? What's good? Let me tweet out the stream real quick. Oh shit, I have the gameplay on right now. I gotta do display capture. There we go. Just gonna be watching the last two C9 series. Hopefully we get through both of them before I gotta go. I gotta go around, I would say like 1:20, 1:30, so an hour 15. How's it going, chat? Been a minute since I've done one of these, but figured I got like an hour or so before I gotta leave. So it might be a little short stream, but at least it'll be something. How's everyone doing? Controlled the rewind, but with got the W anyway. Yeah, I mean, I thought we were playing it pretty decently until like the mid-round stuff. Obviously, you probably saw we had like 8 first bloods and lost, so not ideal, but at least the strats in the beginning part were effective. But it's yeah, we talked about it. We talked about all the rounds and stuff. Are you guys playing on the new patch next week? We actually haven't gotten word of it yet, so I'm not sure. I assume if we're going to be playing the major on the new patch, then we're starting it next week. If not, then we're gonna wait till after the major. But I assume since it was literally just 1 week, we're going to update. But I don't know. Do you think Ken played well? Yeah, I think Ken played well. What am I watching right now? This is the major match between C9 and FaZe. Since obviously we're playing C9 today, I usually just watch the team that we play against on stream for these pre-games. So we'll watch their FaZe match, and then we'll watch their LA team match if we have time as well. How do you think the team played yesterday? I mean, I don't think we played that well, but you know, we were 1 round away from losing, so there was a lot to take away from the series. I'm glad we were able to clutch up in both the hard points. I think the ability to actually finish games is a very good sign if you can do it. And I thought the search was promising. Obviously, it was a lot of mid-round stuff that could have been better. But the fact that we were getting those advantages in the first place was still pretty good. What were you like when Big Bruce won the 1v1? I was pretty hype. But if there's anyone to take the 1v1, I'd hopefully it's him in that moment. Cena likes to play a lot of Hossie hardpoint. They were doing really well at it at the tournament, and then they got smoked by LET on it. In the what was it? Winner semis or something? Or was it loser bracket? No, it was probably loser bracket because this is FaZe matches first, right? Yeah, this is loser bracket, round 3. How do you think the rewind looked? Again, like I said, we talked about it. I thought what we were doing was pretty good, like strat-wise, and like what we were trying to do. It was just a lot of mid-round stuff, either miscoms and gaps or just not working as well together. But obviously we hadn't had a lot of reps on rewind. It's a new map. It was our first match rep, so there was a lot to take away from it, I guess. But I'm glad, like the fact that we were getting those advantages in the first place is still a good sign. I knew you and Damon were happy that the Skyline yesterday, but I know we were struggling in scrims on it. Yeah, there was, I mean, there's specific moments in the hard points where it was good, and specific hard points in the moments that could have been a lot better. I think the way we ended the 2 hard points was really good, with like we're chaining 2 holds together and just chaining a bunch of points. But there was a lot of rotation stuff that we could have been better at, and obviously not even going in the deficit in the first place would have been a lot cleaner. But again, like I said before, the sign of actually being able to clutch up and finish a hard point like that is a good sign. Thoughts on dealership? Honestly, it's not my favorite, but like dude, I swear if the lanes were just a little bit wider, me and Brandon were talking about this the other day. If the lanes were just a little bit wider, I think it could be like a really, really good map. But it feels too, what's the word? Like narrow, but it feels like cluttered almost. The control yesterday. What's your opinion? Yeah, I didn't think we played the control too well. I think there were a lot of times that you know, obviously breakoffs are a really big thing, but if you lose the breakoffs and then they do something really good on their end, it's hard to kind of come back from it sometimes, and you have to adjust to it, and sometimes it's really, really hard to do that. So obviously doing better at the breakoff would be ideal, but also being able to adjust off of a break-off loss and trying to regain from that is probably the biggest thing we could take away from it. Prefer dealership or Skyline? I prefer it over Vault for sure. Skyline, I'd have to see more of it. I feel like it is so far. I didn't like Skyline too much. At least with dealership, there's variety. And I always think variety is a good thing. I just think it's too like small and narrow a little bit. But I like the variety. At least it's not just go to one bomb site, you know? We aren't getting any more BO4 maps, right? I don't know. I don't know what the leaks are or what we could be getting or could not be getting. Hopefully, I mean, it's kind of late in the season now. I would assume if any changes are going to happen, it would be one more before Major 4, because anything that comes after Major 4 starts would just be completely off the table for this season. Usually whatever you play in the last Major, you'll play on at Champs. Why does OpTic have 2 coaches? I mean, different perspectives, different ways of working, different different ways of going about things sometimes too, different responsibilities. A lot of teams have 2 coaches. There's only a couple, I would say maybe only a couple that would have single coaches. I think Ray is the only single coach. There may be another one. LAT has 2, C9 has 2, FaZe has 2. Vancouver, I think, is the only one with 1. Minnesota has 2. Falcons did have 2, but now I think it's just Clay. But I think they do have like an analyst with them as well. So I don't think he's completely alone. I could be wrong on that though. Who else? Why am I just blanking? I'll have to look at the fucking teams on the list. Let me look at Codpedia real quick. Toronto has 2. Boston has 2. Carolina has 2. LAG has 2. Miami has 1. No, the Miami has 2 now. Miami has 2. So yeah, everyone has 2 except for Vancouver. I think Ray's the only one that's alone. I remember when you soloed. Yeah, solo's a big task sometimes. But again, a lot of learning when you do it solo. At least for me, a big learning experience. Hey, what's good, Manny? What is good, everyone? Yeah, we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Control, I see you in the YouTube chat. Everyone, trying to start doing the multi-streaming stuff. So live on Twitch and YouTube. And so whenever we are streaming our scrims, I'm gonna try and do both as well. So if you'd like to watch the stuff on YouTube when you're at, hopefully not at school or work. Hopefully you're attending to your work first. But if you're in a little downtime and you prefer YouTube, you could do that as well. I just think it's crazy. Like we talk about these new maps and stuff and the possibility of adding new maps, but I still think the fact that a remake from BO4 is the best map in this game is so sad. I mean, I'm glad we have Hossie, but the fact that it's the best game and or the game mode is the best, at least in hardpoint and search, guaranteed, is competitively wise, it's just annoying, but at least we have it in. Mike, Larry, appreciate the sub. 3 months. Thank you. Appreciate that. You think dropping Ghosty was a good or bad move in MW2? I mean, I always liked Dan as a player, but it wasn't going to work with the team at that moment. And we picked up Ken and we won a world championship. So I don't know how you could see it as a bad move. I love Dan. I think he's a great player, but it's not like it was a bad move. We won a world championship off of it. And that's not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying that's the reality of the situation. Who knows? If we kept him, there's a possibility we could still have won. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it was just necessary at the time. If you stream scrims, it would offset the frame drops the team gets. Sounds like a good alternative. That's an issue for players. What do you mean by the frame drops the team gets? It would offset the frame drops the team gets? Because we're all streaming it, so anyone's POV. And I'm not on the same internet line as them when I'm at the office, so it's not like I'm taking stuff away from them, like bandwidth and shit. Oh, I thought they won this map for some reason. I guess they lost it. But FaZe played well. Oh, we're not watching Vault Search. Not needed anymore. They get less frames when streaming because PCs aren't very great. Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah. They do get a few less frames, but that's nothing I can control. I mean, I'm streaming, so it doesn't really matter, but I want them to be able to stream too. Like, I'm never going to stream myself when they're not streaming. I feel like it's a team effort at that point. I don't want to be the only one streaming. I feel like that's taking away from stuff they could be doing. Do you think for Vault Search, if they remove the whole pillar in the middle of A site, would fix a lot of problems for that site? I mean, it would fix some problems, but I think the big issue, or the bigger issue, is that offense would always be able to get into A site quicker. And it would be kind of one-dimensional. I think you would have to do something with the B site to make it more viable. Or not make A site underneath, like underground. I think underground bomb sites are kind of whack, personally. Winning today would be huge for mental and confidence, right? Oh, for sure. Do I ever play COD? I play on release and I play a little bit when rank comes out, but for the most part, I don't play too much. I just watch a lot. I just don't want to burn myself out. Like when I watch all the scrims and do VOD and stuff, and then sometimes I even do these types of streams, and I don't want to spend all my free time playing COD as well, to be honest. What rank are you in Rivals? Dude, I haven't touched Rivals in probably 2 months now. I got up to Diamond though. But I legit haven't touched in 2 months. But I saw they're adding a lot new characters, so I might be brought back in. I'm a soccer coach at a high level. I take losses harder than the team does. If my team loses, I blame myself for not preparing the team, so respect that coach. Yeah. I kind of feel the same way. I'm always like, is there something extra I could have done or seen or shown or did something? That's always some of the hardest parts. Especially when you can't control inside the game what's going on and what might happen. What about swapping the sides? You would still need to move around the bomb sites, because then at that point no one would ever go into the underground site if you're spawning from like the P4 side. I feel it would just be everyone going B. Obviously, and B is like super close there, so you have to move the B site a little bit more back. You would still be able to get to B before the other team does. That's the issue. What teams have I coached for? I've coached for New York and OpTic. Shoutouts from Calgary. What is good in Calgary? Calgary. That's super far up north. It's got to be cold as fuck there all the time. Can I ask how you got into analyzing? Did you study maths or something like that? No, I took some CS courses. No, like programming and a lot of stat stuff from like COD related stuff. But for the most part, a lot of it was watching a lot of COD, doing stat stuff on COD, and then learning how to program and doing stuff with it. When I'm back in the cabin, not for a little bit, not till I go back home. I probably won't go back home for a little bit, probably like a month or two at least. If Karma had to play, would he do? Honestly, like, dude, I think you'd have to give him like 2 weeks to scrim and practice. If he was just cold right now, I don't think he would personally do well. I think if you asked him, actually, I know if you'd ask him, he'd say he wouldn't do well. He would need like some time. But you gave him like 2 weeks playing, I swear he could do like pretty decent. At least average level. It's got to be at least, like, you know? Because he knows, like, he has really good game sets, obviously. It's just getting back on the level of shooting pros, you know? Who was your favorite player you coached? Probably Ant. I don't know. I have a lot of favorite. I mean, I don't really have a bad relationship with anyone that I've coached. Everyone's pretty cool. What's up, Bernadette? What's good shot? Gots. How are you guys and the guys feeling? Good. Obviously, a lot better than if we were lost 6-4 or something, or round 11 last night. But that was a good win. A good win in terms of like good for everyone's mental and confidence and stuff. In terms of fundamentals, not like the best. Obviously, it could be better, but a win's a win sometimes. What about coaching Krim? I think the best aspects of that I saw with coaching Krim, first off, the way he would translate what he wanted to do gameplay wise to a team was really impressive as like a leader. And obviously you were going to get that with Krim, and sometimes it would be like some wild stuff, but for the most part mentality wise, he always felt like we were on a better mental than the other team, if that makes sense. And the second thing I would always say about Krim is that he would go into every single practice 110%. And that's like a very hard thing to do sometimes. Every single day, every set. So that was typical. Who would you say clap back the most? What do you mean? Just like, I mean, when I hear clap back, that feels like it's more of like an insult type thing. But for the most part, a lot of people are, I don't want to say, I shouldn't say hard-headed, but more so, they have an idea of what they want the team to be doing, and will stress that a little bit more than other people. And that doesn't mean they're like doing it in a bad sense, but they're not afraid of confrontation. And I think confrontation in a smaller essence where it's not like so heated is actually really beneficial to a team. So in terms of that, like obviously Clay and Krim were really big on that. You know, Ken also, but you know, all these players have really good game sense on what they want the team to be doing, and they're winners. So there's like a really big crossover there, if that makes sense. What time is it where you are at? Oh, it's 12:30 right now. Who spoke? Yeah, like who spoke up about? Yeah, basically. So again, like Ken for sure, Krim, Clay, Lamar on my first team. Those are like the big ones that I could think of. I was OpTic so good at Rio Hardpoint, but I would beat a Rio S&D. I think that was a misconception some people have where just because you're good at one map in one game mode does not mean that it's going to be a good map in another game mode. It's not like it plays any similarly. So we were a really good hardpoint team in Rio because of the way we played. But the way that Rio's search played was very, well, Jesus, voice cracked. It was just very different from the way that we wanted, or we like to play search. And that way that we like to play search was really, really important on things like Karachi and Invasion. And like a little bit of 6-star too. It's good radiation. What was the fifth map there? What was the fifth search map? Why am I forgetting it? Karachi, Rio, Invasion. Oh, High Rise. Yeah, High Rise played a little bit differently as well. But mainly like Invasion, Karachi, those were our bread and butters. Did I eat yet? No. I had breakfast, but I probably won't have lunch until I get to the office. I'll order something, I guess. What time in the matches? We play at 5 p.m. CT. The first match starts at 2 p.m. CT. So the first match starts like an hour and a half. What was my favorite map from last year? To watch. I actually loved watching Invasion Search. Maybe that's a little bit biased. I really like Karachi Search as well. Those two I think were great. And then Hardpoint. I liked watching Rio and Karachi both. So is only matches you can't stream on Twitch or what? Yeah, we can. Well, technically, I can't. Jesus, another fucking voice crack. I can't stream shit at all during the matches. I thought I would be able to, because technically I'm not a player or sub, but apparently the rule translates to even like staff members of the team too. So I'm not able to co-stream or stream at all while the matches are going on, which kind of sucks. Because I was actually low-key thinking of streaming our practice on Sunday because we're going to have a... Well, I wouldn't stream the warm-up. I think that's not fair to the team. But I would stream like a scrim before the warm-up. But that happens to be when the matches are going on. So I'm not able to stream it, unfortunately. I actually had to look up that rule. And yeah, apparently I'm just not able to, which kind of sucks, but fuck it. How do you think this game will stack up versus previous titles competitively? Not great. Just because of the maps, personally. I hate to say it, but like the map set holds this game so like back so much. Which is hilarious because I think the game, like the gameplay is really good. I think the maps just hold it back so much. Like if you had, let's say, I don't know. If you had like let's say you had the BO4 map set in this game, you could argue it could be a top 3 competitive COD of all time. But I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch too. I just think the map set's fucking horrible in this shit. And it holds it back. Which maps almost made it to the map pool this year? I mean, anything that was close to making it made it. I don't think there was anything that was close to making it that didn't get in. I gotta get Arsenal frequency in there. Yeah, I mean, again, chat, we would have to get it in before the major. Now, if season, whatever, the next season comes out and it's not in there, we're not gonna be playing it. Guaranteed. It has to be before Major 4. Every year, whatever you play the last major is what you play at Champs. So, yeah, we would have to get it before that major. They need a standard set of comp maps and they mix up a little each year. The problem there is the developers don't really work together, so that's the issue we have there. Wait, chat, why don't we have minors for this split? Is it just because every weekend we just have matches and it's just straight up we go to the tournament the week after? There's like no weekend, there's no off weekend, I guess. I thought the minors were cool. I'm kind of mad that it's only 2. Why not the skate park Mac? Dude, I 100% agree. I'm surprised they didn't put in grind over dealership when they were adding the new search map. I feel like grind would probably be better than dealership. No, I don't know, but I'm surprised that they went with dealership. They didn't even discuss it with the GA chat. We had no idea as a team that it was happening. I think the whole league was caught by a surprise that it was happening. Like the rewind brought getting brought back, and also the addition of dealership. Got confidence of the boys in today's maps. Hopefully they 3-0 today. We will work on it. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Pretty stupid that they also lowered amount of qualifier matches. Yeah, so I guess it's all based on the scheduling of the majors and tailoring around that. But doesn't it make sense to have the 7 match splits towards the end of the year when more teams know what the fuck is going on and it's a little bit more competitive? Maybe not. I guess it all depends on the scheduling of the majors and how how venues were booked and what days they can actually get it for and how they can actually schedule it out. They probably did the whole scheduling of the majors first and then did all the qualifier stuff. Yeah, I hear you, Fonzie. That's what I'm thinking too. They would just fill it with those minors because they had extra weekends. So they must have just detailed all of the schedule first and then filled everything in between that. And it just happened to be like that. What's good, A Cortez? Am I excited to go for Canada for champs? I'm excited to go to Canada, but unfortunately, people are really not liking the fact that it's in Kitchener. Apparently, Kitchener's not the best, as in it's just like the suburbs basically, which kind of sucks because I always love the Toronto events, but it's still cool that we get to travel for it regardless. I'm assuming we're playing like in a junior hockey arena or something. That's the only thing I feel like is in Kitchener. It's like going to Kansas. Damn. What's good, bro? Match day. Wishing the best for the team. Going to be a good match. Hey, appreciate that, Salvador. Thank you. Apparently, it's like 2 hours drive from the airport. 2 hours? That's a pretty big checkout, I won't lie. 2 hours? Imagine a 2 hour van or Uber just to get to the hotel and then back after the event. Why was the scrims with Boston random maps modes? Was it more practice for the weekend? So sometimes we do like a best of 9, which is just a different way of doing the practice where you do hardpoint search control. But what it will be is like one team picks the first 3 maps and then the next team picks the next 3 maps. And then like after that, you keep switching on and off. So yeah, it is kind of random maps, but the idea is to play it as if it were similar to a longer match where you're switching the modes. Do you think them doing it in Vegas every year would be a good idea? I think it'd be cool, but I don't necessarily like having it at the same place every time. I feel like changing the location is kind of cool. Because we had it in LA for legit like what, 8 years straight or something like that. And that kind of got boring. I feel like switching it up is always cool, personally. Yeah, Kitchener Rangers. That's the only thing I know about Kitchener, chat. I just know of the Kitchener Rangers OHL team. Yo, you know what they could have done to troll? They could have had London, Ontario as the champs, and everyone was like, "Oh, we want CWL London. We want champs in London." And then Toronto Ultra's just like, "Yeah, let's put it in London, Ontario, just to fuck with everyone." Champs in Seoul, fuck it. I would be so down. Champs in Seoul would be so lit. I would stay there for an extra week just to travel, at least. Simp actually had to take over the end of this game. 12? He went on 12? 41? Jesus. We'll watch a little bit of the LAT one as well before I gotta go. I wish we had a San Diego event. Wait, that San Diego event would go hard. Never been to San Diego, but I heard it's awesome from everyone that I know that's gone. Hoping for a Chicago event. Agreed. Chicago is still one of the ones that I want to go to. Haven't been able to go to yet. Wow, they're doing a listen in this early in the game. I swear they never do that. How is Hasi one of C9's best map, but they get it in literally every series? Because the other teams like Hasi, I guess. Do you think it would be a good idea if CDL allowed the first seed champions team to host champs the following year? That way it motivates people to be on the top of the leaderboard as well. Again, it has to do with the cost of running the event. And right now, I don't think CDL is helping with that. Or maybe they are. I don't know if there's like a stipend or something they give. But for the most part, the team has to upfront the cost. So if you're saying like the first place team has to host, it's like, but what if, I mean, they don't want to pay for it. So just because they got first place means they have to now pay for it. You see what I'm saying? They get the option, not 100% host. Yeah, I mean, that could work. But again, I think if they had the option, then there would be more teams bidding to host champs. And we don't know who's bidding. Like technically Toronto has it, but you don't know. Maybe other teams were bidding for champs this year as well. How did the discussions go with the team in the rewind? Yeah, I talked about it. Just a lot of mid-round stuff. I again, it was good that we were getting those advantages, but again, we didn't have too many reps on it because it was just back in the pool. But we had good discussions on like stuff to do because a lot of it was just breaking down mid-round. But the strats and stuff and the stuff we were doing like actually was kind of working. Like the ideas that we were having. Just one gap would not be watched, or we would not go together at one point in the round and it would fuck us over. And I would say, at least the players were saying this too, but Rewind plays a lot differently compared to the other maps, S&D wise, in scrims and in matches. We'll see how it is today. Maybe we get it again today. We'll see. What's the GA talk on the Dashy pump? Should look diabolic from Geo's POV. I have no idea, but if anyone's actually thinking that that was a snake, that's insane to me. I think we have to ban the whole third-person animation thing. Trying to accuse people based on third-person animations, because that shit looks crazy and it has like no bearing on what actually happened in their movement. Is it a snake if you slide into a prone? I don't think so. Maybe other people have different ideas of that, but I don't think that's ever been a snake. Sliding into a heady has not been a snake this whole year, at least. So that's my thoughts on that. One thing about Dashi, he's always gonna be right at the line at his pumps. I will say that he's the best one pumper in the league, but he toes a fine line, obviously. But that was not a snake for sure. It's 100% a snake. I hear you. You can have your opinion. Chad, I have his point of view too. You even saw his point of view in the kill cam. You guys think that was a snake? It's a pop-up. I think we have different like ideas of what snaking is nowadays. Oh yeah, it looks insane on Geo's POV. Don't get me wrong, but again, that's the like the possibility of this game with cameras. That's a game thing at that point. But also, if you're looking at the X-ray thing, the X-ray thing is bullshit. I think X-ray accusations should be GA'd. That's my personal opinion, because I've seen a lot of different. We even had a scrim versus Minnesota like a month ago or 2 months ago, where they thought like Ant was super snaking. It looks like, and guarantee it looks legit like 3 pumps on their screen via X-ray. I was on Ant's POV and he wasn't even snaking. So I think the sliding into a prone is what it looks like a snake in the X-ray, but it's not. Or just like, yeah, just sliding into prone is, yeah, I don't know. Why is it 2 pumps if he goes into a crouch if he can't even see over the bomb site? That's what I want to know. You know what server you're playing C9 on? Probably Denver. Can you show the POVs? Yeah. Let me see. Wait, it was in the kill cam, right? Let me bring it up real quick. I don't know what round it was. It was later on, right? Was it this round? Yeah, it's right here. But don't get me wrong. X-ray, it looks insane. It looks like he snakes. But the slide into the prone is what causes that. How do they determine what server they play on? We do server tests to determine what people's pings are, and then from that, the league determines. Hey, Willsy, appreciate the sub. Thank you for 3 months. So he's out of position here, slides into a prone, and then crouches up. He doesn't see over the bomb heady. He can't see anything. And then 1 pumps. So even Chance says a clean one. How are we feeling about the match? JP, Cloud9 is looking good. I think it'll be a good match. They obviously do look good, but I think a match win here would be huge for us. Why can't we hear game sound? Wait, you guys can't hear game sound? Test, test, test. Oh shit, wait, you guys haven't heard game capture or audio capture this whole time? Oh, you guys gotta tell me that. My bad, chat. Give me 1 second. I'm just I'm capturing the audio real quick. That's actually so funny. I mean, you don't really need to hear the commentators anyways. But just let me know next time if that's occurring. All right, let me know if that audio is good. If that's good right there, you should be able to hear it now. Yeah, this is live, Jewel. What's good? JB, could Geo's POV had been a Codcaster glitch? Yeah, the X-ray stuff is all Codcaster spectator glitches. I don't know why the animation does that. That's a game thing. That's a third person animation like bug. Is hybrid still bugged where you can't slide into prone? I don't know on the main patch. I don't know if they fixed it yet, but we're not on the new patch yet, so it doesn't affect us in our matches yet. But in terms of like if you're just playing right now, oh, Skyline Search. Okay, we're not watching this. I don't know if they fixed it yet. Play protocol again. Shashi said new patches next week. Oh, interesting. Let's see if you've got what it takes to get things going here. Well, C9, they start things off on a bit of a bad foot, but on the yeah, Chad. This is live on YouTube and Twitch. Trying the multi-streaming stuff out for today too. Doing it. I'm gonna be doing it for the scrims as well. When we're back up and running with the scrim stuff. What's your prediction for VF game day? What is VF game day? Oh, Vegas Falcons maybe? Did they play again today? I don't know the matches today. Let me see the matches today. Oh, they play Miami. It's weird because we haven't practiced against Vegas yet, so I don't know what they look like in practice either. Obviously, they played a strong Vancouver yesterday, so I have no idea what to think about for this match. And LAG Carolina, I think, could be close. I feel like Carolina takes this. Obviously, we have our match, and I think Toronto beats Boston. Fuck with the multi-streams? Yeah, I figured at least for the scrim stuff as well. Also, I mean, this is good content that could go on YouTube regardless anyways. It's not like I'm playing music or anything that could get me demonetized. So I might as well put it on YouTube as well. And for the scrims, I figured a lot of people are streaming on Twitch, but I know a lot of people also prefer YouTube streams. So I figured we'll try it out and see how it is on YouTube as well. Are you allowed to do that? I mean, you sure know what you're doing, but I thought CDL is YouTube exclusive right now, and since nobody was watch partying on Twitch, I'm just curious. Well, I'm not watch partying live. This is just VOD. I can't watch party or stream during the matches regardless because I'm staff member of a team. So whenever the CDL is live, I'm not allowed to stream. Twitch, YouTube, anything. I don't even think I could stream. Dude, if I wanted to stream like IRL or TFT or something, I still don't think I can stream. Which feels so weird, but I don't know. I guess that's part of the agreement. I like YouTube because I can rewind. Yeah, true. I do love that feature. The fact that Twitch hasn't implemented that feature yet is crazy to me, by the way. I feel like that's the one thing that's lacking on Twitch side that YouTube completely takes advantage of. Yo, can you explain how white time effect spawns? It just opens up like a couple different spawns and prioritizes closer spawns sometimes, simply because the game reads as no one's close to the objective and it needs to like kind of it's gonna be different. It's sometimes like a little bit random, but it just the way to think about it is it kind of opens up new spawns once it's white. Was it like that in MW3 too? Yeah. It's been like that for a little bit. It's been like that 100% in the last 2 games too. I think it must be just be the engine, the new engine that we're playing on. I think it's just staying the same. So until we get some type of new engine, I think it's gonna be in the game. First attacking round goes the way of the LA Thieves. That seems to be the way things have gone ever since the patch changed the position of the B zone. Dude, why does my face look so white here? Is it the light coming from the room? I was like, holy shit, I look pale. We're good. I think it is this, the light.
Steve's player just ran straight through. So Thieves didn't throw a ton of pre-nades off the rip, at least not on the left side. They were instead taking space. In space they have taken.
Are you in the game as Codcaster Fastest or just watching CDL broadcasts? Just watching the broadcast and sometimes looking at like over one of their shoulders while they're playing. But no, we don't get like an actual point of view in Codcaster in the game or a spot in the game for us to watch live. Do you want to be spawning tower side on P2 Proto? Depends on the situation. I think you can hold it from both sides pretty easily. It really depends on your situation. I think the ideal, I think a lot of teams would probably say that, is you'd want to, if you can hold from like the boat side and cut off mid and have them spawning back dubs, that's your best bet because you can at least chain for the possibility of like a P2, P3 chain. But it doesn't mean to, or it doesn't like necessarily mean it's hard to hold from the tower side P2. It's actually pretty decent if you have a good setup. So it's like, it's whatever the situation is. What you could do is you could start holding from the tower side at the beginning once you're rotating to it. And then once you get kills, start flipping them out and trying to go for that chain or something like that. That's what most teams look like they're doing. How long will the stream be? I'll be streaming for another 15 probably. You're so tough. Appreciate that, dog. With a name like Dog, you might be tougher. You think Heretics will beat Vegas and Ravens beat Mate? I think Ravens will beat General Mates. Heretics Vegas is a toss-up for me because I have no idea how Vegas will look. We haven't practiced them, and they played they're playing, or they played Vancouver yesterday, who's a really good team, obviously. So it's hard to judge based off of the first match for them. But I would probably say Miami Ravens today.
They are playing with the most, I want to say disrespectful confidence, but anything they attempt to do, it's always together. The success rates are exceptionally high.
I look like Standy? I don't really think I look like Standy, but fuck it. Standy has curlier hair. That's the only thing I will say. And Standy is super thin. I'm pretty thin, but your boy's trying to gain weight, trying to gain some muscle. You know how it is.
This time, possibly just damage. Envoy once again, first blood. This is nice. Again, that's a very red kill feed so far. Krem, the only outlier there. We start to capture A. 2 players on it.
Last guy is going to be on the pinch top. Trips might be able to get a freebie there from Civ, and him and Attach win the gunfight. So you control a couple power positions, you win a few gunfights, and you at least get them off the zone, and that is all for C9. They bottled in their first round the setup when they had the spawn traps going. You can't afford to let up the pressure, but
since we got a lot of time, just want to say I appreciate the streams and all you do for the community and the team. Hey, appreciate that. Stibic, thank you.
Lovely teamwork again from the middle of the map, and a flying Krem causing problems. Sid picks up the rest. Hydra now battling out of spawn.
And they've at least made it through.
Thank you for the sub too, man. Appreciate the tier 1. 3 months as well. Stibic, appreciate you.
Maybe not coming from the grave just yet. The C9 players are prowling.
How do I get into being a coach? I just did a lot of stats-based stuff, tracking stats and doing analysis when I was basically when I finished high school, started college, and was doing it for a good amount of time before I got an offer to work with a team. I started tracking stats with some other guys back in Ghosts. I actually just did a Around the Bar podcast with Hitch, so I talk a little bit about that. So I'm assuming it'll drop like next week. But be on the lookout for that. It was a good conversation.
He's managed to sneak out towards the zone. There's the kill. And there was a player on steps incredibly close, but C9, you bought yourselves An incredible lifeline there.
I mean, hey, they were maybe
What VOD is this? This is the last match C9 played versus LAT elimination round 3 or 4 at the major.
this time. Wheeling
So since we're playing C9, I just always watch what team we're playing, just for like the viewers' perspective. I've already watched this stuff, so this is more for just you guys to have something to watch, and maybe I talk over a little bit about. But most of the time, I'm just chatting with you guys in chat.
Hard work there. We saw a couple of nice routes, a couple of great
What was your drink of choice on the pod? I had a drink, but we had to do it before scrims at 10 o'clock in the morning, so we did coffee instead.
crimp on a 4.
And he didn't want me to get a turn before scrims, and I appreciate that, because that would have been
Kremp and Hydra, 2 players that
that could have been bad.
battled down low, but his teammates pick up
I don't drink too much anyways, but
trying to take the exact same
he was just like, yeah, we're gonna have to do it at probably 10 o'clock in the morning anyway.
and making the same plays is not an easy thing.
Not always. Here we go. 1 minute to rock and roll here on Protocol.
How do you and Karma split coaching duties? Each do some part of the things, or do you just both give inputs on everything? Both give inputs on everything, really.
Get a little bit of space here, but not enough. Hydra once again.
Just 2 different perspectives sometimes, and 2 different ways of going about it, but I think we work well off of each other.
Rush over towards the middle of the map. They're still dealing with Hydra and Spawn. Mac has 2 teammates dealing with spawners, so it's a solo capture. He's able to get the first tick, and he's been mostly ignored.
Absolutely. They're trying to make
Imagine pulling up the screens, blasted, hammered.
get through. Now you've had to turn
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have probably been seeing fucking 16 arrows on the minimap that day
a lot of work done there, but you
had I
see players
been
that
drinking
are
right before.
away, and there's a couple of members of C9 watching over mid. Are they able to do what they can to keep that
If you didn't work in the gaming industry, what would you like to do?
segment complete?
Shit, I don't know. I feel like being
Progress on the objective.
I was on the track of doing like law school and stuff, so maybe working in like
Threes and multi-kills.
sports law or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of
Close out. Lots of time
what I would do.
with. If they can finish
I actually have no idea.
and that is it.
Software dev too, yeah, that could be. The thing is, like, I got into doing programming stuff based off of
Turn there in a decent
the gaming industry to begin with. So I don't know if I would I don't know without gaming
balls in everybody else
or the gaming industry if I would have gotten into it.
run, and Mac
It's possible though. You never know.
down. He's able to get a kill. Ghosty was on the chase for such a long time, and he's able to get it, but not before Mac does some damage. C9, they have an open route towards B.
Yeah, numbers are there. They're fighting their way towards B. Hydra's going to get here in a moment.
Hey, appreciate that, real Donnie.
Player, you've still got numbers up though. Still,
Thank you.
the firing line was there. Ghosty from down.
You ever raise your voice to get a point across? Got heated. I see Karma doing that, but it would be funny if you had. If there's an opportunity where something's happening a shit ton of times and we keep letting it happen, I'll get pretty heated. But it doesn't happen too often.
Push this one out. 4 players on the point. Super stack. They've got trophies. They've got it all.
But if you don't think I'm gonna get mad, or if you don't think I'm gonna get like, yeah, like mad or super heated based on something, then you got the wrong point. I am pretty level-headed, chill, but I also am pretty competitive in that sense too. And when shit is not being done, when we talk about it, it does get annoying.
Situations that are just not standard makes it weird to deal with, and getting that initial tick of progress.
I have hit a crash out.
Just pausing the clock so his teammates have more time to work with, I think is such a beneficial thing. Probably bought him an extra 15, 20 seconds on the map, just keeping things slow, and Mac winning gunfights from time as well. Ultimately, the play call was over towards A, but
Is this live or just watching VOD? No, we're just watching VOD before our match today.
Nothing, and now we've got a final round.
Just watching VOD. Hey, Team Uni, appreciate the sub, my guy. Thank you.
Relatively 50-50 now at this point in time, folks. Envoy once again, another first blood. Onto the A zone immediately. There's opportunity for the stack.
there's the pinch. Kremp, I mean, the underground routes are just diabolical. Always about
I seem so nice. I appreciate that. I am a pretty nice guy, but again, if it's part of the job, it's part of the job. I talk a little bit about that in the podcast as well with Hitch. What time do we play? We play it at 5 o'clock Central Time. I guess it could be earlier depending on how the other matches go because we are third match. So I would say between 4 and 5:30 is when we'll be playing. But it's scheduled for 5.
The kills might be nice, but you're not going to get those either.
Perfectly timed on the child from Ghosty as well, making sure
Do you like this major setup better than the champs one? Nah.
no mistake
I like the champs one. I liked being in the middle of the crowd.
in what he wants to be his brand new home.
I think being in the middle of the crowd creates such a insane atmosphere. like personally.
And that's 3 in the feed for Thieves.
Yeah, very composed moments now for the Thieves. You're spawn killing on the other end of the map. Unfortunately,
What time do you gotta go into office before the match? I gotta leave here in probably like 10 minutes.
he does. Civ goes
So I'll be live for like 10 more minutes.
trying to find everything he can from these tight angles down low. Ghosty gets his as well, and they're on B.
And you can see how much they're valuing the computers and down low control. Meanwhile, Hydra, he loves his new real.
How do you feel about yesterday's set?
Every single life
Obviously could have been a lot better.
out of spawn. Gotta get to
And I mean, it's great that I love to see us clutching up in the 2 hard points and clutching up in the search. But there's a lot of things that took away from the rewind search I talked about before. And the control, I didn't think we played well at all. But the hard points, the fact that we were at least clutching up is a good sign. Because I think there were some rotations and things we didn't do particularly well, but we ended off the games, or both hard points, on 2 big holds where we chained them. So that was really big. But whenever you go and win a round 11 game 5, I always feel like those are just coin flips. So to me, it's like we could have easily just lost that series too. And got Nesled. I do have like 5 minutes. We'll just watch the skyline or something from yesterday. Why the Hossie control ban? I'm not going to talk about bans and stuff. Why don't the pros use the C9 instead of the Jackal? The Jackal is just much more versatile. Much more versatile. Long range, close range. You can do so much more with it. How much time we spent on rewind search? Scum said it looks like we didn't quite know what to do the first few rounds. I mean, I don't think it wasn't that we didn't know what to do. I think there was just issues with how we were playing mid-round once we like got a pick or something. Dude, bro, we got 8 first bloods on the map. We were like the strats and the stuff and the start of the rounds was not the problem. It was what we were doing either with each other or not with each other in those mid-round situations. Why not GA the Jackal? It kind of makes the aims useless. Because then subs would be in a very, very bad place. I do think the Jackal is a lot more, just a lot stronger right now in terms of the meta. But you GA the Jackal and the subs are going to have a very, very difficult time. And people are going to be running more ARs probably. Even with a new Jackal nerf, is it still more versatile? I actually have no idea. We haven't played it with it yet, so technically I don't know. So we'll see. But we haven't played with it yet, so I have no idea. As a coach, how do you deal with a player that goes rogue and doesn't want to listen? Very interesting question. You just got to show him what's going wrong and why it could be affecting him and the rest of the team. It's the only thing you can do. Obviously, keep hammering it in, but you have to bring it into their attention in a way that they realize that it might not be working and could be holding us back, you know? How'd I get into the scene? I started watching toward like the middle of MW3, the old MW3, obviously. And then I just fell in love with it, watched all the tournaments, would watch streams and stuff. Once, you know, BO2 was my favorite season still to date of probably watching. And then Ghosts, I started working with like a stats team to track stats because it wasn't being tracked before. And did that for a while. Like, I'm talking, we did that for at least 6, 7, 8 years. From there, I actually helped MLG with a lot of their tournaments as like a back-end producer for all the stat stuff. And once CWL ended and once CDL started, I got an offer from a team. Yeah, I would say I started watching MW3, but it was more so just like S&D, GB streams and stuff like that. It wasn't really tournaments because there wasn't really that many tournaments in MW3 in general. So a lot of it was just streams of people like playing comp stuff. Biggest tip to understanding spawns in this game, I swear every time I think they should flip, they don't. You have to be aware of what you and your teammates are doing. What you're blocking, what you're not blocking, where the enemy team might be based on your players' arrows. You gotta update the 2025 jersey ad. That is not on me. That's I don't control that, but I hear you. That's just like a plug-in thing that I have that's required for like our sponsors. But yeah, I guess they have to update that. What's your favorite COD competitively? BO2. I think AW and BO3 are right after it though for me. But I think BO2 was my favorite. And still is my favorite season that I watched. BO2 was just different. Like core BO2 was so fun to watch and play. It's crazy to me. What is it? What, 13 years now almost? 12 years since it came out? How long have you been with OpTic? I've been with OpTic since the start of MW2, so this is my third year.
Softens that blow. The final 15, and it should go the way of Rocker. A perfect 30-point hold there. Halfway through that P2, they turn it on. And Kenny knows to play.
All right, we'll finish this map, and then I gotta unfortunately head out. There are a lot of different rotation-based stuff that we can talk about for this, but maybe I'll do it maybe on the Monday stream or something. I'm not gonna lie, chat. I was listening to the flank this morning about some of their ideas on this map, and I don't know, there was a lot of stuff that I was hearing that was some fugazery, personally. How do you guys determine what teams you warm up? It's kind of just random. Most of the time, I mean, 100% you won't be warming up teams that you're going to be playing recently or in the near future, but it's kind of just random. You just like whoever's open to scrim. What are some examples? Just I mean, just a lot of stuff I was hearing. This is actually such a big break. I didn't realize that we were down this much during that time. For some reason, I wasn't looking at the score in the moment. Blank is right about first bloods and S&D though. I mean, yeah, it's not such a hard thing to analyze. I agree. We got blessed by an RC car around 11. I mean, Kyler shot it. I mean, yeah, I guess you shouldn't call out with their teammate there, but... Seth raid, holy fuck. What is good, chat? Appreciate the raid, my guy. Hope you had a good stream. We'll be, I mean, we're only gonna be live for another like 10 minutes, unfortunately, because I gotta go to the office. But I appreciate the raid, my guy. Chat, we were watching some C9 gameplay because obviously we're playing them today. But I was just watching the end of this Skyline since I just have a few more minutes. But I appreciate the raid, my guy. But chat, I will say, okay, since everyone's here, I will say, I thought first off, I thought Sam was completely right. I think Chris was, like, Haggy was kind of overanalyzing a little bit. I think when Estrel's back here, I think you have to ape this guy. I think you need to kill this guy. 100%, if there's one guy left alive, you kill him so you don't have to worry about him anymore. Because the bad thing about this, chat, is he stays alive and you're say on time. You don't know where he is still. Everyone's coming off spawn. They can flood in and you're still having one guy go rogue and finesse. You need to be able to ape this last guy and then turn your attention towards the spawners. 100%. 100,000,000% you need to kill this guy. I was on Sam's take right there. See, Damon's in the chat too. We just didn't look in the corner, but you need to find out where this guy is. Guaranteed. The second thing I will say is that what was it? It was this P3 right here. So we get what, 4 down. Kyler gets the 2 kills towards white here. They're spawning piano. He's gonna take a route towards the stairs, right? I don't mind this route. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does. Whatever. I think we have 2 options here. You either push out. I think Haggy was saying this, and Damon said this literally right after match 2. You either push out and play a line in P3. You play a line in P3. Make sure if they're coming like from the piano side. First off, you're spawning the piano, but if they're going to come piano side, this guy has the information on it, and you just play for them to come middle. And this guy over here is just blocking the spawn because you need to block the spawn for P3, right? Or what you do is you give up white. Ant plays more near Kyler and helps him out towards the middle. Maybe he plays like towards you, towards low gym, whatever. He helps out Kyler after he takes this route. But the problem here is, like, I think it was Ben saying, like, Brandon should be knowing that they could come towards you in this moment. But, like, dude, first off, he's blocking. So he can't do that. He can't watch you, our full pinch, and our top at the same time. There's 0 chance he could do all of that, right? So either he takes timings, watching our top and our low flank, which, again, Estrel's literally vent taking a route here. And you'll see he takes his route, and instead of hitting through the back, which he 100% could have, he's going to cut back and go middle. But there's no way Brandon can read that. He needs to be on, or like he needs to keep it honest that it's a possibility for him to just ape the back like this. Like Brandon doesn't know that. There's no way he could know that. So Brandon's just playing timings off anything on the pinch and just making sure that he blocks because he knows he needs to hard block with Kyler pushing out their side. It's just a great route by Estrel. They get the kill on Kyler, and since we don't have anyone, we have all our attention towards white and not towards mid, they just break for free because no one's actually pushing up through white, and we're all watching white. So it's either we push out white, play for these guys middle, or Kyler and Ant work together and Ant like stays low gym with him. There's nothing Brandon could have done here. Him having to watch you top bed and low bed is fucking insane, personally. Are we doing hot seat today? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not giving away that in chat.
Oh, that's revenge on Hook as well. Galacto now spawns in. You get set up in, well, we talked about the best hill from OpTic, maybe being the initial P2 or P3. The best hill for Rocker was this P4. You do have Dashy, though, able to actually get on in time first, so everybody has to turn their attention his direction, and he wins at least the first gunfight at a time. That opens up the map. Shotzi able to flank him while Geo deals with him. The pressure overwhelming.
We should play Invasion. I hear that. I would love to play Invasion. That was our bread and butter. Good luck to you and the boys today. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tell me your breakoffs. All right. Will do. I got all the ops in the chat, all the feds in the chat. I appreciate you guys, but unfortunately, cannot be giving that away. You ever watch The Flank to see a different perspective? Oh yeah, I listen to it a ton. Just because I love the shit community does. I listen to all like the podcasts and stuff, like the main ones. Because fuck it, I don't give a fuck. And I like to hear people's takes. Why are breakoffs so important? Because they give you a very good momentum boost at the start of the game. I think a lot of the times it's like rock, paper, scissors though. So you win it or lose it. It shouldn't win you or lose the game. I mean, sometimes it happens in control where they just gain so much momentum based off what you do off your second spawn. But it's just like, yeah, again, like a rock, paper, scissors. You counter it maybe. Sometimes you don't counter it, whatever. But you got to play with what you got afterwards. $20 gifted if you do a 4 underground route and hardpoint skyline to flip at the start. Yeah, I'm not throwing our match for 20 gifted, but I appreciate that radiation. What was the downfall of the control yesterday? I don't want to talk too much about it, but I don't think we played it too well. It's not really I mean, it's not really a surprise, but I don't really want to give away what went wrong too much. Because that just, I don't know, that gives away a little bit too much. Obviously, there's other stuff like we could talk about that's more situational, like the stuff we were doing in hardpoint and stuff obviously in search. But the control, I feel like there's stuff we could have worked on that I don't really want to give away. 4.4K, I see you. Yeah, that's the dirty Seth raid. My guy hit me with that raid before he went to the office. Unfortunately, I gotta head over in like in a minute or so anyways. So I'm gonna finish this map and then head over. I hope you'll practice search because C9 will goon you if not. What the fuck? The what if not? We actually did 10 S&D sets last night after the match. Agreed. We did talk about the searches though, chat. For anyone wondering. We like watched the rounds back and shit. You had 15 first bloods in 20 rounds. That's solid. Yeah, so there's a good way to look about it, and there's obviously there's some bad in it because we did go and lose the first search and then go round 11 in the second search. But the fact that like the starting aspects of the round were working, it gives us something to work off of, if that makes sense. It's a good sight, but obviously there's a bigger problem in terms of like what we were doing mid round and how we were working off of each other. But getting in those starts is, you know, a hard thing sometimes to deal with in the first place. So the fact that we're not having that problem of like getting first blooded is better. Here, this is what I would say. I feel like it's a good problem to have. I would rather have good starts and getting the first bloods and then kind of fucking up later on, so we can learn not to fuck it up, but still be able to get those, you know, initial advantages in the round, if that makes sense. First real S&D match, not scrims, could have been worse. I agree, Damon. We were talking about it after, but even the players were saying, I think they were saying, I said this before, but they think Rewind plays a lot differently in their S&D scrims compared to matches, and I agree. Bro, people in Rewind, Search, and scrims are just aping, dude. And it was a little bit more campy yesterday. Like aping, like the rounds end in 30 seconds. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Thank you guys, chat. Thank you guys all for obviously the raid. Thank you, Seth, for the raid. Unfortunately, I wish I could be streaming a lot more. I just got to head to the office to set stuff up and then get ready for the match. So tune into the match, 5 o'clock CT. We'll be live there against C9. Let's see if we can raid someone. Who's streaming, chat? Who can we raid? Who can we raid? Anyone from OpTic streaming? Yo, you know what? Let's raid Ray. Let's raid Ray. Ray is talking with his chat, playing PGA. Obviously, Vancouver's doing really well. Go hype him up in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in.